Students, today I will talk about EPRG model. EPRG basically stands for ethnocentric, polycentric, regiocentric as well as geocentric. Now EPRG model was introduced by Perlmutter in 1969, having three factors only, that was ethnocentric, polycentric and geocentric. Later on it was developed further and added regiocentrism in the year 1973 by Wind, Douglas as well as Perlmutter. Now, what do you mean by ethnocentrism? Basically, it is export-oriented firms. They have a very negligible presence in overseas markets. Basically, falls under this ethnocentric category. Here, the home market is the most important factor. That means domestic market. And you have a very small presence in the international market. You can talk about Indian products like Mohe and Mannavar. Indian people are available throughout the world. Say for an example, United States of America, Canada, Middle East, European countries. So they have a food habit. Say for an example, you can say idli, dosa, sambar, chaat, chanachur. These kind of things are available also in world market. So ethnocentrism falls into this particular category. Now the second is polycentric. Here it is applicable for international companies. Poly means many. That means each and every countries have a unique feature. What you can do in Dubai or in Saudi Arabia, you cannot do it in India or in Bangladesh or in Pakistan or in United States of America or in European countries. So each and every market have a different kind of characteristics. You have to abide by the rules and regulations of that particular market, which is very important there. Now regiocentric. Here the multinational companies fall into this particular category. Multi means many. That means I would say that suppose you are operating from India and you have a presence in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka as well as Myanmar. They have the kind of similarities altogether, although they have the dissimilarities also. But in case of regiocentric, when you are operating from this particular host country to the other adjacent countries, that means you have the cultural similarities. So you have to do the marketing accordingly. Now next is geocentric, that is global companies. Here your brand value is enormous. You have a financial backup also. That means, say for an example, you can talk about Apple, you can talk about Samsung. This type of brands are available everywhere and the tremendous brand value is there. And because of that thing, the product is available throughout the world. So this falls into geocentric. They feel that world is global village. World is a global village. They do not bother about different market. They believe that the market, because of their brand value, will accept their product in everywhere. Now I can cite some kind of examples of EPRG model that is ethnocentric. You can give an example of Nissan. The Nissan is basically a Japanese company who is known worldwide because of vehicles, to say cars as well as trucks. They are exporting to United States of America. They had a failure history also because they are very good player in Japanese market. But the thing is that in winter season, the Japan temperature is different from United States of America. As a result, they are expecting that what Japanese people are doing, the same thing the Americans will follow that thing. They are covering their cars in Japan. But it is not possible for the United States people to do this kind of things because of scorching winter. As a result, that was a failure. So there is an opportunity from this kind of marketing, and to say that opportunities are there to develop further from this particular incident. Next is polycentric. Here the example is McDonald. McDonald is famous all over the world. But in case of India, they have intentionally sell the products which is devoid of pork and beefs because of the religious mindset of the Indians. But it is famous for pork and beef. But here they are providing non-veg, that means I would say chicken, as well as vegetarian dishes. The regiocentric approach, you can say example of Coca-Cola, or you can talk about McGraw-Hill products, where the Tata McGraw-Hill products are selling all over the world, but they have a collaboration here. And the most important thing is these countries, this means these southeastern countries do not have that much of purchasing power. As a result, the products are charging much in United States, North American markets, European countries. But in Southeast Asia's market, that is a totally different. Here the company is basically focusing on bulk quantities, not the pricing factors. And geocentric example is Apple. Apple is a known brand. Brand value is tremendous. They are coming with a unique feature which is not applicable everywhere. But in case of Apple, the kind of chances, I would say, of hacking is very, very less. They have their own operating system, and the kind of facilities they are providing, that is unique. That's why the brand value is enormous. So we can say that the geocentric approach is basically taken by Apple.